YouTubers, welcome back to the Titanic Sinks book series. We're on chapters 13 and 11 and 12. Next week is chapters 13 and 14. So we have this week, next week, and then one more week to go. And then the week of the 19th, or the 16th, which is the week of St. Patrick's Day. On the 19th of that, we start the Hobbit book reading series. Then I don't know what we're doing after The Hobbit. So don't ask. Anyway, chapter 11. Monday, April 15th, 1912. 1:12 a.m. Ruth Beckert waited patiently with her mother and two siblings on the A-deck promenade. It was almost their turn to board the lifeboats. The Titanic's crew was lowering some of the lifeboats so they were even on A-deck. They had women and children with coal through the windows into the small boats. By now, the crew had no trouble finding passengers willing to leave the ship. Women and children crowded around the windows as crewmen hastily helped them out to the open boats. Ruth watched as some 70 people filled lifeboat number 11. When that boat was so full it seemed likely to tip over, the crewman reached over, grabbed Ruth's sister Marianne, and tossed her aboard. Another crewman snatched Ruth's baby brother Richard and her mother and then to a woman on board. "My children!" Miss Beckert screamed. "Oh, please let me go with my children." "All right, but you're the last, crewman," said the crewman, helping Miss Beckert with the window. "Roll away!" and called to the man on the boat deck above. Then, as lifeboat number 11 headed down alongside the Titanic, Mrs. Beckert saw Ruth still sitting on A-deck. "Ruth!" she screamed as the boat disappeared into the night. "Ruth, get on the next boat!" Ruth looked down the promenade, and the crewman stood by an open window. Through it, Ruth could see a crowded boat swinging on ropes. "Hey, move, women!" the crewman called out. Ruth calmly walked up to the man. May I get on board?" she asked. Not a word. The man lifted Ruth up, hoisted her through the window. She tumbled into lifeboat number 13. It was rocked back and forth under her weight. Ruth looked around her. It took a few moments for her eyes to adjust to the darkness in the boat. Then she saw the lifeboat was filled with people, mostly fighting women and children was out traveling in the cold. At the helm of the tiny boat sat a man wearing dresses, a wet t-shirt and trousers. Looked utterly exhausted. It was stoker Fred Bartlett, who had been put in charge of lifeboat number 13 as soon as he made it to the boat deck. "Is that all?" called a voice from overhead. "Wait, there's two more," a voice on the deck replied, as two more women called through the windows and into the boat. Load away! Called the voice from above. No! Screamed the woman from the boat deck. Stop! Goodness. Look his head over the rail. Here's someone! Catch! He called, and tossed the bundle into the boat. One of the crewmen on board caught the bundle, which was wrapped in a blanket. The man unwrapped it to find a gargling baby. Ruth Rods as a young couple scrambled over the boat deck rail and jumped into the lifeboat. Barely escaping the Titanic with the baby. Low away! Called the voice from above. And with the squeak of ropes and pulleys, lifeboat number 13 began to descend into the darkness. Two sets of crewmen went the ropes at the bow and stern of the lifeboat. Although they tried to lower the boat evenly, the first bow would drop down, then they would lower the stern too fast. As the boat moved down alongside the ship, with the stern, they would tip over. At last, the crew managed to lower both ends at the same time. The lifeboat dropped trickily down to the sea. Right over the side, Ruth saw a huge stream of rushing water on the side of the Titanic. The boat was being lowered directly into it. Take care, lads, or she'll be swamped, called Bartlett, saying to him. Use the oars. The men on board unlatched the oars and held over the side of the boat. As they neared the stream of water, the men used the oars to push off on the side of the Titanic. It worked. The rush of water thrust lifeboat 13 alongside the huge ship. The little lifeboat drifted swiftly along the current, then stopped with a jerk. The ropes that the boat were into the sea were still attached. The crewmen, unused to the lifeboat, tried to figure out how to release the ropes. In the water, lifeboat number 13 seemed strangely unsteady to the Titanic. She tried to adjust to the bubbling in the lifeboat. Ruth glanced wistfully up at the big ship. She gasped. Another lifeboat, number 15, was being lowered right on top of them. Ruth watched in terror as the crewmen of the boat struggled to cut the ropes that still held on the Titanic. Lower and lower, the hull of the boat dropped. Ruth and Anna shrieked to the sails on the Titanic to stop moving the lifeboat. But they did not heed the cries. Two the men, lifeboat number 13, stood up, So the boat above got closer and closer. They placed their hands on the underside of number 15 and desperately tried to push the rowboat out. Ruth ducked down and clenched her eyes shut. She was sure the people in number 13 would be crushed any second. If only she had stayed aboard the Titanic. At the last moment, Barnett managed to cut the ropes. Lifeboat number 13 drifted away as number 15 splashed into the water behind it. With sigh of relief as crewmen rowed their boat away from the Titanic. She looked back at the ship, so brightly lit against the star-filled sky. Hundreds and hundreds of faces lined the rails of the Titanic's decks, watching as their boat slowly moved away. You shuddered. It's a terrible thought just remained. There was no other lifeboats that she could see. If the Titanic really were to sink, what would happen to all the boats still on board? Chapter 12. Monday, April 15th, 1912. 1:27 a.m. Let us through. Daniel Buckley stood on the boat deck with had the other class passengers rattled the little gate in front of him. A few women and children had already been taken to the lifeboats. And the rest of the third class passengers had been told to wait. Now everyone was restless, growing more and more alarmed. They worried that the first and the second class passengers would evacuate first, and that when it was their turn, no lifeboats would be left. On the other side of the gate, the steward shook his head. Oh, boing, 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 oh, doing, doing, doing. This is the second class deck, he said, sneering. The likes of you have to stay in third class. One of the men next to Buckley, when Hughes fell, bellows were raised and threw his body against the gate. Began to give. Once more he rammed his shoulder against the gate and broke away. Just wait till I get my hands on you, the man yelled, trembled over the gate. The steward scurried away. Buckley and the others weren't interested in revenge. They ran through the gateway, scrambled up the stairs to the boat deck, where the last lifeboats were being loaded. Almost 2 hours had passed since the Titanic had scraped the iceberg. The ship was tilted forward onto port. Everyone aboard knew the Titanic was in trouble. So many people clung to the hull that were not in serious danger. After all, the lights were still burning brightly. The man continued to play happy, upbeat tunes. The rumor made their ants. The Titanic could stay afloat in at least another 8 hours. By the time the Carpathia of the Olympic would arrive, and when the Titanic would be saved. What? 8 hours? What? That's not right. On a deck near the bridge, crew's men began loading lifeboat number 4. The Titanic was listing so badly that a gap had opened between the lifeboat and the ship's side. The crew placed deck chairs across the gap so that passengers could crawl into the small boat. Among the passengers in lifeboat number 4 was 19-year-old Madeline Leinster. Her husband, John Jacob Astor, was very concerned as his bride sat in the wrecking boat. May I accompany my wife? Yes. Second officer Link Dollar was in charge of loading number 4. I want to protect her. She's pregnant, you know. Lando shook his head. Well, sure, he said. No man least supposed to a woman unloaded first. And continued helping passengers. The boat was quickly filled. What boat is this? Asked the letter. Number 4, sir, Lando replied. Mr. nodded. He wanted to remember which boat his wife was in, so that he could find her in the morning. Vacate or use stuff, my dear. Allison removed his gloves and tossed them to his wife. I'll see you soon, he called. The boat was over to the sea. The passengers on boat lifeboat number 4 were shocked at how quickly they reached the surface of the sea. The salt water pouring in for portholes in the sea deck. On high bell, the Titanic was now submerged. The sea glowed an eerie murky green as lights shone through the portholes under the water. What are you learning? Someone passenger asked the seaman in charge of the boat. There's a companionway off. I'm older to go there, he replied. The companionways were large doors used to load the ship. Lifeboat number 4 was supposed to pick up more passengers there. Many people on the boat wanted to get away from the Titanic as quickly as possible. But the crew followed orders and rowed alongside the ship toward the stern. From within the hull came the trickling sounds of glass breaking as the ship's tilt grew steeper. Plates and glasses slid off tables and shattered on the steel decks. When lifeboat number 4 neared the stern of the Titanic, 2 men dropped from the deck overhead. One landed in the bow, almost capsized in the boat. The other man splashed into the water next to the boat. The woman aboard helped pull him in. There was no open companionways to be seen. So the lifeboat crew came rolling away. So the lifeboat cleared the Titanic stern. The passengers gasped. The great ship tipped forward, its 3 propellers, each the size of a windmill, slowly emerged from the sea and hung dripping over the calm, flat water. Oarsmen in the lifeboats rowed furiously away from the Titanic. toward the lights of the ship seen off its port bow. If the ship were to sink, they did not want to be nearby. They feared as the Titanic went down, it would drag them along with it. As soon as the distant lights were gone, the ship Captain Smith had seen had disappeared into the night. It had ignored Titanic's rockets. People still on the Titanic started to panic as they realized that less of the lifeboats were being loaded and launched. Fifth officer, Howard Low, charged with lowering the Dare to Last, noticed a teenage boy in the boat. Get out, Low ordered. This was for women and children. Please let me say that. They joke. He did. I don't want to die. Low pulled a revolver from his belt. I'll give you 10 seconds to get back on the ship before I blow your brains out, Event. No, let me stay. For God's sakes, be a man. Low Bill, stopping, grabbed Low by the arm. Mr. Man, she said. Please don't shoot the poor man. Unless the teenager scrambled on the boat back onto the deck of the Titanic. Low looked over the crowd of people sitting in the lifeboat. More than 50 people, 50 women and children. Person huddling on their black looked suspiciously large. Low reached down and hid away to shore. The passenger was a man still away in the lifeboat. Well, left, right. He grabbed him and threw him back on to the Titanic. There was no officers aboard the lifeboat, so Low took command. So he stood in the frail vessel, hearing that it had been overloaded. Well, won heavily from drafts. Seemed likely to collapse before it could reach the water. Do you think the boat will make it, Low asked Cookman. Geez, I ain't alright. Then lower away, Low ordered. Lifeboat and they dropped to the water. So past the open decks beneath the boat deck. Well, saw a man standing the rails about to jump aboard. Don't try it! Low yelled. So the boat collapsed and even one more person got on board. As the men threw their legs over the rails, he pulled his gun and fired. The men jumped back. As the lifeboat neared the water, it began to tip dangerously at first, till it nearly spilling its passengers to the water. The seaman, sitting at the tilter, pulled his knife, turned around, and cut the rope holding the stern. The boat dropped 5 feet, hitting the water with a thud, a splash. A number of those on board screamed. On the Titanic, 2 men had to lower less to lifeboats, still hanging on the drafts. These boats were called capsules. Because their sides were made of sturdy canvas, not wood. On the starboard side of the ship, pursuer Herbert McLoy tried loading Constable C. A number of men scrambled into the small boat, pushing aside women and children. Ed McLoy yelled at the men to get out and fired his guns in the air. The men crawled out of Castle C, and the women and children climbed on board. In minutes, the boat was filled. "Any more children?" McLoy called to the men. "No way!" McLoy called, and the boat began to drop. As Castle Boat Z disappeared all the rails, 2 men finally slipped on board. One was running a Carter whose family had left a few minutes before on another boat. The other was Bruce May, head of the White Star Line. On the other side of the ship, Chief Officer Henry Nailed, Second Officer Lighthouser, took towards the line Castle D. The last boat hanging from the ship's that. Travis. Looking over the canvas sides of the castle, Lighthouser found a number of men huddled under his benches. "Get out!" Lighthouser ordered. The men bunched. Lighthouser hold his gun. "Don't make me use this," he barked. The men sheepishly left. One of the men, crewmen, nearby to lock arms and form a ring around the boat. They were to let only women and children through. In minutes, the boat was filled. Harold looked over the people on board. There was no officers in Castle D. He turned to his shipmate. "You go with her, Lighthouser," Harold yelled. Instead, Lighthouser jumped to the ropes, ready to lower the boat to the water. He refused to leave the ship when there was still women and children on board. And that is chapters 11 and 12. Next time, chapters 13 and 14. Only 4 chapters left. Bye.